if you look at the circle over there to the right, they put the mill on that stand in the middle, and the horse goes around and grinds or squishes the sugar cane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then put the sugar cane in here and cook it down. And the horses go in that pen when not being used. Get it all up, won't you?
I'm trying.
You can't go in there, Jesse. You have to stay over there.
It's dark in here, so I don't know how much you'll be able to see. This is the entry room. This goes to the right. This is just talking about the wood. Bonnie Myers outside the cable house in the 1960s when a park association store operated on its first floor. Back through the main room. Now I am short, but these doors are very tiny. Look at that fireplace. That is amazing. The craftsmanship that went into these boards and building this house. Look at that fireplace. Out in front of it, a wood stove was added. Can you imagine what else been cooked on that stove? The windows are very low to the floor. There's a little back porch. Back into another room that is really completely separate from the rest of the house. You have to go outside to get to it. Another beautiful fireplace. And that would have been your view through these windows. I wonder why this room is completely separate. The Gregg Cable House was moved from its original site on Forge Creek Road to its current location following the death of Aunt Becky. Becky Cable became concerned in her own life when in her late 80s she became seriously ill. She called on Cove neighbor and skilled craftsman John McCauley to make her a coffin. He obliged, but Becky soon made a full recovery and lived nearly a decade longer, to the age of 96. There is an upstairs. I would imagine one of those two went to the upstairs, but of course you can't get up there. I love that they preserve places like this and save the history. This is amazing. If you can tell, I don't know, the ice is frozen on the wheel because that's how cold it's been here this week. We are freezing. Can you imagine how much work went into digging that to go all the way back down to the creek? Now I can't begin to get this whole thing. No, what is that?
It's a hay rake. That road to the right's a simple bar mower. That's how they used to cut their wood.
So this would have been a hay barn. And this thing just kind of runs as far as you can see. Of course, there's a lot of ice in it. And then over here is another barn. Not sure what kind of barn that was. Maybe somebody can tell me. And there's what's left of an old wagon. I find this stuff fascinating, but when you come here, please don't do that and carve your names into historical wood. That's just terrible. And over there is the grist mill. I wasn't able to get much of that because there were people around it. Look at that wood. And there's another old barn. I've watched Will and Dawn from Yankee in the South come to these places long enough that I should know what this barn is called, but I cannot remember. But isn't it amazing that they preserve this stuff for us to come and see? So when you come here, be respectful so that everybody can continue to enjoy it. When we come here, I just try to sit and think, what was life like for the people that used this barn, that lived in that house, that used the grist mill, that used that sugarcane mill, to live up in these mountains undisturbed. That looks like a feed trough. And that is the mill. This is Cades Cove Primitive Baptist Church. This is Cades Cove Primitive Baptist Church. This place is so beautiful. Can you imagine when church services were held here? It's freezing cold in the winter, hot in the summer, but it is beautiful in here. And there's a cemetery behind the church. I have no idea how old some of these graves are. Some of them look like they're fairly new. But it's just so peaceful. And this is a dog-friendly trail around the cemetery behind the back of the church.